What's the difference between a business coach and a business owner? Let's dive into that. Hey, it's Scott Beebe with Business on Purpose. And over the course of meeting with hundreds of business owners throughout the years about their coaching needs, we've found that when getting started, there's one big piece that seems to be confusing. Hey, what's the difference between a coach and a business consultant? And do I need to hire one of each? Well, in this video, we're going to outline for you the different roles played by each position and the importance of each one. So what's the difference between a coach and a consultant? While these terms are sometimes used interchangeably in everyday conversation, it's actually a misnomer. A business coach's role, much like an athletic coach's role, is to constantly research, game plan, work to develop playbooks, roadmaps, and techniques that each business owner and their key leaders, their players, can follow, and then show up enthusiastically, repetitiously on a predetermined schedule to create the necessary conditioning through accountability and, just as important, implementation. A business coach works with the business owner and key leaders both in season and out of season, and their outcomes, they're tied directly to the goals set through the long-term vision casting. For a business coach, it's more important that they study and coach the foundation of business than it is that they have specific industry knowledge. Business coaching, by definition, will be ingrained across all systems of the business. Of course, there are situations where a business coach may need to drill down into specific niches of the business, just focus on marketing or sales or accounting. But business coaching tends to focus more on the accountability and implementation of long-term systems and processes, and less on short-term strategies that could change pretty quickly. Generally, though, even though they identify as a coach, those niche roles are more appropriately defined as consultants, consulting in specific areas. The business consultant, in contrast, is typically a current or retired industry professional with decades of experience within their given field. So if you own an ice cream shop, you can hire a business coach to help you work on the business, or you could hire an ice cream shop consultant to really niche down in one particular area. If you own a steel rigging and erecting business, then you'd hire a steel rigging and erecting consultant to help you focus in that niche area. The business consultant tends to bring a portfolio of best practices from their industry that may or may not work today into a specific area of your business. Again, accounting, operational efficiency, and then advise on how to integrate those best practices in your day-to-day process. A business coach, on the other hand, teaches you how to build process so that you can do that across the business. Business consulting tends to focus more on mapping out a strategy near-term and less on long-term accountability. Business consultants tend to work on more of a fly-in, fly-out contractual agreement model, where they come in for a defined period of time, say 3 months or 6 months, 12 months, for example, and then their contract is fulfilled. Identifiable differences between coaches and consultants may look a little bit like this. The coach is focused on the underlying foundation, pulling all the sheetrock, getting under the structure of your business, vision, mission, values, systems, processes. The consultant's focused more on a narrow niche of the business, sales, leadership, accounting. The coach is focused on defined, written, customized game plans, putting in the grind for roadmaps based on historical and current business study and principles, whereas the consultant brings with them a deep treasure box of defined best practices and hacks from decades of invaluable industry experience, both very helpful. A coach is usually going to be principle first, with timeless principles that never change. A consultant is typically going to focus on changeable strategies. These strategies are very much time sensitive, so they come in and they go out. A coach is focused and locked in on different sorts of returns on investment or outcomes. For instance, a coach wants a VROI, a vision return on investment. A coach wants an RROI, a relational return on investment. A coach wants an FI ROI, or a cash profit or financial growth return on investment. And also a coach wants an FROI, a freedom return on investment. They want to see your life change. And not just from life coaching, it's business coaching, but it necessarily impacts your life. A consultant, the outcomes they're looking for typically are a delivery of a toolbox of strategic best practices and other defined metrics at the outset of the contract. The commitment for a business coach usually focuses on long-term engagement, leading to long-term transformation. The commitment of a business consultant typically focus more on short-term engagement, could be long-term in some places, but many times consultants like to work on defined contracts. So while very different roles, both the business coach and the business consultant can work very closely together, and both are invaluable to the growth and maturity of a business owner and their key leaders. In fact, many times as a coach, the business owner will ask our input and sometimes ask us to even quarterback bringing in certain consultants for near-term strategic things that the business needs. At Business on Purpose, we are business coaches, laboring in a long-term game of liberating business owners from the chaos of working in their business so they can spend more time working on their business and make time for what matters most. Hey, check us out, mybusinessonpurpose.com. We'd love to have an ongoing conversation with you. We'll see you there, mybusinessonpurpose.com.